In this video, we're going to be checking out the Soundcore LifeTune XR wireless noise cancelling headphones. Hey everybody, it's Chris from Family Geekery, and today we're going to be checking out the Soundcore LifeTune XR headphones. These are made by Anker, and I've got a lot of Anker products, from cables to chargers to even these little guys, which are Soundcore, almost like AirPods. But they have a wireless transmitter here, or wireless receiver rather, to plug into any kind of USB-C device, and these are made specifically for the Oculus, but they work on other things. I've got a video where I reviewed that. Go check it out right up here. But today we're going to be checking out these LifeTune XR noise cancelling headphones, and let me tell you first why I even have these in the first place. So I just got back from a little business trip, and on my way out, on my flight out, I noticed by the time I got to the gate, I realized that I'd left my earphones at home. So I went into one of the little stores there at the airport to see what I could hook up to my phone or my iPad, and they were just ridiculously expensive, cheap, garbage products for way too expensive. So on the flight out, I just had to do nothing and watch none of the movies or none of the TV shows that I loaded up on my iPad. I just kind of played some Sudoku. So on the flight back, I knew I wanted to have something to be able to listen to my iPad and watch those shows that I had downloaded already. So luckily in the city that I was at, they had a Micro Center. So I found these at the Micro Center. I knew Micro Center carried the Soundcore products, and I knew they'd have a couple on display. So I went ahead and journeyed down there and checked these out. Now these were the top of the line ones that they had there, but even top of the line ones, they were still pretty cheap. They were like, I think $70 or $79 compared to wireless noise canceling headphones that can go up into the $300-400 range. Of course, features are going to vary, but I just wanted best bang for the buck. I wanted something that was decent, but I didn't want to break the bank. So I picked these up, and I used them for my return trip. I used them a little bit on my trip, also in the hotel room, listening to some music and playing some games and stuff. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is all the features that they have, and more importantly, how well I liked them. So let's go ahead and crack these things open, and I'll show you what they look like and what they come with. So inside the box, there was a quick start guide instruction manual. As you can see, I didn't even open that up. Didn't even need to. These things were pretty intuitive. I figured it out all by myself. Figured out how to operate them and download the app and everything. So let's go ahead and take a look at the product itself. It came in a hard shell case. That's one of the things that that this version had, that some of the other ones just had like a little pouch or something. So this is pretty rigid. It's not hard plastic, but it's still pretty rigid. And inside are the headphones, and then a little tiny pouch here which has in it a charging cable and an aux cable. So these things can be used plugged into the your device itself, or you can use them Bluetooth. So both of these are inside the pouch. A way to charge them up and a way to hook them up. And then here's the headphones themselves. They have memory foam ear cups, clearly labeled right and left. I like that, because once you pop these things open here, just looking at them, you can't really tell which way they sit on your face. So I like that. I've seen some other ones that didn't have that, or had them little tiny letters here that are hard to read, and these are clearly marked. So I like that. And it's got a decent amount of buttons without being overly complicated. So let's take a look at some of the buttons here. Starting on the left cup, we got the charging port. We've got the power button. So easy enough. Push it for a couple seconds, it turns on. Push it for a couple seconds, it turns off. And then we've got the noise canceling option. We'll talk about the different options it has for noise canceling. Over on the right cup, we've got a play pause button here, right next to the aux port, or the headphone port. And then we've got plus and minus. So plus and minus will do volume if you just single click them. If you long press them, it'll do track next and previous track. So like I said, very easy to operate. I'd like to have some controls on my headphones without having to memorize weird combinations of presses and stuff. I know with like earpods and stuff, you gotta double tap and talk to Siri and all kinds of weird stuff. These are just nice and easy. For the most part, you're just adjusting the volume, turning it on, and then, that's really the majority of what you need to do with these. So this is like a metal band around here, instead of just like a cheap plastic band, and some more padding up top. These are adjustable for a pretty decent length. I've got a pretty decent sized melon, and they fit on my head just fine. I didn't feel them uncomfortable. I did wear them on the full flight back, which was a 3-hour flight, and had them on my head the whole time. Didn't feel any kind of pain or discomfort or fatigue from wearing them the whole time. So I was pretty impressed with that. So let's talk about some of the features that these headphones have. So we're just going to go right back to the box and refer to the box for some of the features. You can see it says high-res audio, hybrid ANC. We'll learn about that in just a second. 60 hours of playtime, transparency mode. So transparency mode means that while you have these things on and you're playing something, you can go into transparency mode so that you can hear, what's going on around you. Now that's good for safety purposes, of course. Maybe you're riding a bus or riding a train and you want to know what's happening around you. You can do that. And it's also good, like, if you're on the flight and the flight attendant comes by to ask if you want drinks, then that's a good way to just put that in that mode real quick. You don't have to stop what you're doing. You just put it in transparency mode and be able to talk to the person without just guessing what they're saying to you. And then NFC fast pairing. That's if you have a Android phone, you can just kind of lay the Android phone right up next to it and pair it that way. For the iOS, you just go into your Bluetooth settings, of course, and it wasn't too difficult. So let's take a look around the back side here. Multi-mode noise canceling via Soundcore App. So we're going to take a look at the app in just a few minutes and show you what you can do with the app. I was pretty impressed with all the different things you could do there. And then let's look at these features down at the bottom. High-res sound, we saw that. Built-in mics for calls. So maybe I'll throw this thing on my head and I'll talk into it, see if I can talk into this recording and let you know what it sounds like. Up to 60 hours of playtime, but then 40 if you have the active noise canceling on. 5-minute charge equals 4 hours of playtime. That's pretty impressive. It's got a fast charge, I guess. Fast pairing, we talked about that NFC fast pairing. And then that touch for transparency mode. So there was, like I said, the NC button on here for the noise canceling mode selector. But really, if you just press and hold, I think it's the right cup here, then that's going to put it right into transparency mode for you. So you don't have to worry about finding the right button once it's on your head. You just push that ear cup and it's going to go into that mode for you. So let me see if I can get this thing paired up with my iPad and we can test out the microphone that's built into it. Alright, so I've put the headphones right on my head right here, and I'm talking into just the Bluetooth microphone that's built into it, and I'm talking about the same volume as I was just a second ago talking into my USB mic that's usually hooked up to my iPad. And so test 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We'll see how this sounds once I do the editing. Alright, I did a quick little listen of what that last video sounded like, and it sounded pretty good to me. So I'll see once I do editing how close it was to the real mic. But I think for any type of phone call, it'd be more than enough. If you're going to do like a Zoom call or something like that, it's going to be plenty fine. Gaming, chat mic type stuff, that's going to be fine too. It seemed to pick up the volume level pretty decently. I was talking in just a regular normal voice, and I think it came through fine. So let's go ahead and talk about the noise canceling. So we've got this noise canceling button on here, and as you toggle this thing, once it's paired up to your device, it toggles through 3 different modes. So it toggles through normal, which is what they call the normal mode, which would be just like if you had any other type of headset hooked up to your device listening to it. And then transparent, we talked about that. It's going to kind of use the microphones that are built into this thing to kind of amplify the sound around you to get it into your ears. And then noise canceling. So the noise canceling is going to try to filter out, some of your ambient noises around you and give you complete silence, and then just play the audio from the device that you're doing. Now, if you've never used active noise canceling headphones before, you really got to try them out because they're really neat. I'm no expert on active noise canceling, but I've had an old pair of Bose QC something or other years ago, and that was my first introduction to active noise canceling. And once you put these things on, the ear cup is completely around your ear, and it's isolating you from the world around you. It kind of gives you just a tiny bit of a strange feeling at the beginning, because it feels, different than real life, and it's just taking all the noise that your ears are not usually picking up, and it gets rid of it. So it's kind of almost uneasy feeling. Now, once you start playing the audio, then everything sounds good, because it's, your head's hearing things that it wants to hear now, and it's not hearing all the stuff that it doesn't want to hear. So think about my application where I was on a plane, and the plane is just notorious for having just that loud, rumble, that low bass sound rumble the whole time that you're flying. And let me tell you, once I got this thing on my head and got the ears all the way inside the ear cups, this noise canceling was pretty darn impressive. It just made that all go away, like gone. So it was like complete silence, and then I could start playing my TV shows, and they sounded great. Now, out of the box, that's the three little presets that you got. And then once you get into the app, then you can have a little bit, you can fine tune that noise canceling a little bit more. And then the app has some other features. So let's go ahead and take a look at the app. Alright, so like I said, put these things on your head, and you push the power button, long press to turn it on, and if you keep on pressing it, it's going to put it into Bluetooth pairing mode. That's what you're going to need for your iPhone or iPad. And then you'll hear, first, every time you turn it on, it's going to give you a little voice in there that says what the battery level of the headphones are. So far, I've only heard battery level high, so I don't know what it says, if it goes just from high to low, or if there's anything in the middle. So far I've only heard high. And if you keep on pressing the button after you turn it on, you'll hear a little, like a bing bing, meaning that's ready to pair. So once it's paired up with your phone, then you download the Soundcore app, and this is what you'll see. You add your device. In this case, I added the LifeTune XRs, and it shows that it's connected. So once it's connected, then I can actually go in here and start changing some of the settings on this. So let's go ahead and take a look. I've got right here the noise cancellation mode, and let's go into that. Now it gives me three choices, just like the button did: noise cancellation, transparency mode, and then normal. So I can switch it from the app, or I can switch it with the buttons. And for the noise cancellation mode, you're going to have some options down here. You've got transport, which it says targets low-end frequencies like engines and road noise for serene journeys and commutes. So whether you're on a train or a subway or a plane, you'd want it in transport mode. You got indoor mode, which is going to eliminate voices and mid-frequency noises from coffee shops and other inside places. So it's going to target those kind of voice frequencies and try to cut those out. And then outdoor says reduces ambient sound on the go for quieter city spaces. Now I tried transport, of course, on the plane, and it worked great. I also used transport in the hotel room because you've got that air conditioner right next to your bed that's blowing, and it's kind of a low, rumbly noise also, and it did great with that. It cut that air conditioner right out and let me listen to my my music. Now if you go into these other modes like the transparency mode, then it just gives you an example of what it says: stay aware of your surroundings by allowing ambient noises in. So you can see this guy's walking around in the city, and he wants to hear a car honking at him. And then normal just says turn off noise cancellation and transparency, and then you just got like a normal pair of headphones. Now being able to go in here and change the different modes of noise cancellation, that's important. So downloading the app, I wouldn't say is essential, but it is important. But there's some other features in here. Let's take a look at those. So going back to my main menu here for the headphones, we can go into equalizer. And if you've watched the video for these guys, then you would have seen some of this already, that the default, we can change the frequency in between all these different presets, and it's going to change the sound curve of my EQ. I found that rock sounded pretty good for the music I was listening to, and also is pretty good for movies and TV shows. But you can see if you're doing like a podcast or something, then maybe spoken word would be good. But you can go through here and pick any of these, and you can see it's going to change the equalizer as it goes. Now you've got all these. The default one that starts with it is Soundcore Signature. I'm not sure exactly what that is, how it is wave-wise, but I did find that rock sounded a little bit better for me. Now you can go in here also in custom and create a custom EQ profile and drag all your different frequencies up and down. So if you're an audiophile that wants to play with all these different frequency bands yourself, then you can certainly do that. And then you can save that as your custom equalizer. Alright, and then another thing that we've got here is what they call superior sleep. And this, once it starts playing, you have all these different sound effects here. Rain, birds, wind. We've got wind chimes, camping sounds, which have like a crackling fire. Waves, some more stuff down here. Farm noises, clocks ticking. This one actually makes it sound like a city street, I think. So if you're used to sleeping with subway cars going right by your window, then you can bring these up, and you can take each of these and you can kind of mix them all together and play it into your earphones and give yourself a little virtual sound environment to listen to. Now, I'm not sure that I would actually have these things on my head while I was in bed sleeping, but maybe if you had a different type of device. Anker does make a Bluetooth speaker, then that would be actually pretty good to have next to your bed, and you can set a countdown timer for it and have it play these noises for 30 minutes or something to help you fall asleep. Now, in addition to all that, if you go back to the app and look just at the Soundcore stuff, then you can actually create your own white noise, it calls it. So it's got a couple pre-made ones, but you can also go in here and you can turn on and off all these guys. Now there's more selections here than there was in that other sound mixer for that sleep timer, but you can mix together all kinds of things, clanking dishes. I don't know if you're normally sleeping in a restaurant or not, but maybe that soothes you, and just all kinds of stuff. So the app itself is pretty cool. Like I said, not essential if you just want to play through the 3 different modes, but if you want to change the EQ at all or change that noise canceling mode, then you got to download this and at least set it up once. Alright, so before I wrap this video up with some final thoughts, I got a quick story for you real quick, and that is when I was at the airport getting ready for my flight home, I had these in my backpack, and I had a buddy, a co-worker that was on the trip with me. We're sitting at the gate waiting for the plane, and we both unzip our backpacks, grab our headphones out, and he grabbed something out of his bag that looked exactly like this. Now, I knew beforehand he had said that he had some Sonys, and I knew they weren't going to be Ankers, but the package was exactly the same hard shell, same zipper that goes around, same little tab here. Obviously not the same label on the side, but I said, let me see those things. Open it up, and inside was a pair of headphones that looked very similar to this, and there was even like a little felt foam thing that was inside here that was inside these, that kind of separates the ear cups. I went ahead and threw that away, but he had the same thing inside there. And like I said, I doubt that these things are directly comparable to a $400 pair of Sonys, but it's obvious that Anker has at least emulated their design and made it look as good as they could. So let's talk about the overall thoughts of these things. And long story short, I think they're freaking great. Like I said, I bought these with my own money. This isn't a sponsored video in any way. They weren't sent to me. I bought them, and I think they're awesome. So if you're going to be traveling often, then these things are going to be the way to go. At least some kind of headphone. It doesn't have to be the Anker ones, but some kind of active noise canceling headphones are going to be essential if you're going to be traveling a lot on planes. I know there's a lot of people I saw on the plane that looked like they were frequent travelers, and they all had a pair of, some sort of headphones like this wrapped around their neck as they were climbing onto the plane. So something like this would be great for that. Now, if you're also commuting every day on a train or on a subway, these would be awesome. Also, gives you that noise cancellation, saves your ears from all that extra noise that's going on, but still gives you the ability to push the side and hear the world around you if you need to. So those would be great for that. And like I said, just regular sync it up to your laptop, sync it up to your iPad, do your Zoom meeting. They sound great, and I think the microphone worked out great too. So overall, I'm a very happy customer. Like I said, I've bought a lot of Anker things over the years. I always look for their name first when I'm buying something. So again, I was very pleased with these. So hopefully this video answered any questions you had about them. If you have any more questions, feel free to write them down in the comments below, and I'll be happy to take a stab at answering them. And other than that, I thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I appreciate a big thumbs up on there. And if you want to see more stuff like this, more product reviews, more geeky stuff, more videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button also. But thank you as always for watching, and until next time, peace out and geek out.